Why was Abraham called the friend of God? Because when Abraham was old, God came to him one night, said, Abe, yes, sir, yes, Lord. I want you to take your son who you love so much, who you waited for 25 years, who you love more than anything or anyone else in the whole world, and I want you to go on a 3-day journey and kill him for me. Do you know how hard that must have been? And God doesn't even give him a reason. He doesn't say, if you go kill him, then you'll secure the covenant and I'll send my son. He just said, go kill him. Doesn't give him a reason. And Abraham doesn't have Genesis to read. But you know what my Bible says? Early the next morning. You know how some people go, well, the Lord's been dealing with me about this now for several months. You are bragging about your lack of the fear of God. Okay, are you with me? Now, God gives him a 3-day journey. Why? To think it over in case he wants to turn back. It's easier when you've heard the booming voice of God the night before, but what about 2.5 days later when you haven't heard one word from heaven? You are looking at the mountain where you're going to put the most important thing or person to death in your life just because God said do it and doesn't give you a reason. But Abraham goes to the mountain, builds the altar. Can you imagine what's going through him when he's building this raw altar? He ties Isaac up on the altar. He lifts up the knife and he's ready to put the most important person or thing to death in his life just because God said didn't do it and didn't give him a reason. And all of a sudden the angel appears and says, Abraham, stop, because now I know you fear God. How did the angel know that Abraham feared God? Because he obeyed instantly. Because he obeyed when it didn't make sense. Because he obeyed when it hurt. Because he obeyed when he didn't see a benefit. And because he obeyed to completion. Abraham puts down the knife. He unties Isaac. He lifts up his eyes, and there is a ram in the thicket. And Abraham, out of his spirit, comes, Jehovah Jireh, the Lord my provider. Do you understand what God just did? He just revealed a facet of his personality to Abraham nobody had ever known before. Because Abraham's my friend.